Owen Pence.
What's up?
Thank you for joining me. A WNBA on NBC edition live right after the game versus Liberty versus Mercury, game 2. And was this what you were expecting? This kind of blowout in a game 2, Owen?
It's so hard to know what I was expecting, given that we didn't know what Breanna Stewart was going to look like if she did play. We didn't even know if she was going to play. She was a game time decision. So I had less of an idea of what I thought might happen in this game than I did in the other 3 series in terms of predictions. I felt very confidently that Phoenix was going to come out so sharp. It was an uncharacteristically, I wouldn't even say sloppy performance on Sunday necessarily in game 1, but there were just certain things that they let and allowed New York to do that you knew they were not going to let that happen tonight. And I think especially I'm talking defensively. Kalia Copper just said in the postgame, we watched the film, there were certain screens I could have fought over harder, etc. And that's a champions level standard because to my eye, she played great defense on Sunday, but there were just those little areas. It wasn't all about Satu going 2 for 17 or, AT missing a couple shots at the end. There were just a lot of little things within the granular aspects of the game that I think they saw as a chance to really improve upon. And whew, did they do it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a blowout.
Yeah.
And, Ka was in a lot of, she was in some foul trouble in the first game.
Sure.
So I'm sure that was very helpful this game that she was not. And Satu bounced back, which I think we all expected she would.
Absolutely.
But you had, she was in double digits. Kalia Copper was in double digits. AT and DeWanna Bonner also in double digits.
And one more. Kat Westfeld.
There
5
you go.
players in double digits. Kat Westfeld, I've loved how Kat has, she was starting first chunk of the season, I think over the first half of the season, and Natasha Mack replaces her in the starting lineup. Natasha Mack, one of the best defenders in the league, but Kat has been so great coming off the bench for this team. Just a little shout out to her, because obviously she's not the headliner, but really playing really hard defensively. Defense not her strong suit as much as shooting is and scoring the ball. But she comes in and just there's not much drop off in terms of their rotation of 8 players, where it's they have 8 players right now who are playing, and it's really tough to beat.
Yeah, and I also want to give a shout out to Monique. I think she's been doing a really terrific job guarding Sabrina.
Huge.
And I didn't get to say this during our preview, but I did think she could potentially be an X factor just in terms of potentially containing Sabrina a little bit. And Sabrina really hasn't got going in this series. And she, she said tonight in the post game, it did seem like she could be a little under the weather. She didn't want to make excuses, of course. So I don't know what's going on with her, but if Sabrina is not fully herself, Stewie, we didn't really get much from her tonight in tonight's game. They have to go back on the road, go to Phoenix. And JJ pointed out in the post game tonight that they have won on the road, so they can do it, and they know they've already beat this team on this road, and that's true. But that was a really close game that could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Phoenix came in here and blew them out.
Yeah.
This is maybe I'm overreacting, but this feels like dire times for the reigning champs.
I don't think it's an overreaction at all. Ultimately, to me, it's as simple as this, and obviously it's not as simple as this, but Breanna Stewart is one of the greatest basketball players ever. Breanna Stewart now is undeniably one of the 4 or 5 best players in the league at worst. When she gets injured late in game 1, now it's a different series. The one game of info we now have with Breanna Stewart as she's feeling currently, blowout in New York. How's that going to look when you have to play 46 hours from now with a whole flight to Phoenix? I can't imagine it's going to get a whole lot better. I really hope for her sake it does, because it just stinks that they haven't been able to coalesce and get everyone healthy for an extended period all year. But it's not an overreaction at all to say this is a dire situation for their season, because it 100% is. And getting 1 on the road in a playoff series is you can do that. Phoenix now, there's going to be no slacking. Phoenix is so dialed, there is no way they're not going to come out and play just as sharp on Friday night. So New York would have to go take it, and that's going to take a lot.
Yeah, and Satu Sabli said like their crowd is going to be ready.
Woo!
Unlike the crowd tonight in New York, because we did see fans leaving quite early. But you know what? The Liberty didn't give them much reason to stay, so I can't really say that I blame them.
And this is something I absolutely love about watching this big three of Phoenix and like Ka, AT. They are just gonna, they're gonna, you know, be pumping everyone up. Like they live for this, to go into a road situation, silence everyone, and just like sap the energy and the air out of the building. So like you could see that, like instantly they were setting that tone, and it showed on the scoreboard.
Well, listen, the defending champs are on the brink of elimination. Ash Donquel Jones, what the vibe was like around the team, and she said there's no panic. And I believe that, you know, at least from, you know, players like Jonquel and Sabrina, like the leaders. But at the same time, this team, can't put my finger on it, but this team just it feels off. Something doesn't seem right with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think like there's also something that's like, it's really hard to repeat in basketball. The Aces just did it, so we like have this expectation that maybe, you know, it might be as JJ
Jonquel Jones is like walking by watching us on the podium. Like, dude, why are these people on our podium?
Exactly. We're just imposters right now. You just got that live. It's like, yeah, the only time I'll ever be up on a podium like this, just to babble. Classic. But I think that like there's a clear distinction to me between like panic. There's clearly no panic, because like why would they be panicking? They just want a title. Is there a sense, and they would never admit it, and they're like the most professional, you know, this would never be something that was said until after, but sometimes there is a little bit of like a resignation, right? Of like the reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation right now is like, we're not going to be able to win the title if we're not fully healthy and ready to go. And you can make excuses, believe me, like they did not lose this game tonight solely because Stewie was not 100%. They lost this game for a myriad reasons, and like that, I think they still would have lost even if Stewie was prime Stewie, because there was a lot of other stuff that was giving them serious issues.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, I just think that's important to note that like, man, repeating is really tough, and ultimately they have had a lot of hiccups this season, and it hasn't clicked, and it's tricky. It's tough to be as hungry as you were last year, and maybe they are still just as hungry and not as healthy. It's so many factors.
For sure. Well, listen, when we previewed this series, we said it was a pick'em.
Yep.
Obviously, that was before a Breanna Stewart injury, but it's going to a game 3.
Yep.
So we will see, but that's going to be an exciting game come Friday.
In Phoenix, going to be loud.
Yes. Now look, there's another series. There's actually 2 other series going to a game 3, but let's pivot to the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm. The Seattle Storm finally broke the Las Vegas Aces win streak. So it ended, I mean, sometimes they don't even combine regular season and postseason win streaks, but it did end at 17 games. And so that was a game I feel like the Aces, they let go of. Like they should have won that game. And yeah, you do get to go back home on your home court to try to win it. But like, you shouldn't be in that position. And Becky Hammond mentioned that in their post game. It just like, you know, I was just really surprised because they should have won. They had it. They had a big enough lead, and they just did not play the way they needed to execute and close out that game. Yeah,
it was tricky. I think like a clear turning point, and again, not to use this as an excuse on behalf of Las Vegas because they wouldn't themselves. When Asia Wilson drove to the hoop and got fouled and fell on her shooting elbow, there was a clear difference in the way she was playing offensively after that happened. I initially got very concerned that it was going to be serious. Then she shakes it off. She goes to the foul line. Okay, it seems like it wasn't something serious. And then you kind of forget about it. And then you're watching the game and it's like, man, she's being pretty passive. And to Dominique Malonga's credit, whoo, is she good at basketball? Oh my goodness. Like she is going to be a superstar. And credit to Noelle Quinn for like gradually over the course of the season, like making her a bigger and bigger part of the rotation to the point where she's now playing the most important minutes of the season. She deserves all the credit for her defense on Asia in the fourth quarter and what she was able to do offensively. But I do think that when Asia started to become a little more passive, I would assume because she banged her shooting elbow really hard on the floor, they just started to lose the flow of everything that's been so fun to watch for that 17-game win streak. And Jackie Young was phenomenal, and other players like played solid for stretches, but they just didn't, in the final 5 minutes, have the juice.
Yeah, and I mean, some of it was just like really execution stuff, right? Yes. I mean, there was like a foul that shouldn't have been committed. There was a turnover that happened. I mean, Jackie would have had a wide,
great
open, yeah. And then, you know, there was even a play, like I remember there was the ball looked like it was going out of bounds. And the Aces could have gotten it, but I guess they thought it was going to go out. And Erica Wheeler just came in and grabbed it. Yeah. And like that's just so like, okay, like if you think it's going to go out of bounds, that's fine, but you got to stop the other team. It's just like they were not exerting the right amount of like, you know, aggression, in my opinion, that they needed to close that out, especially because if Asia did get banged up, you want to give her some time to rest, and it would have been so much more beneficial for them not having to go play a game 3. So now they got to go back and play game 3. Yes, it's at home for them, but against a tough Seattle team. And we have to give Nneka Ogwumike her credit, her flowers. Totally. We have to also give Erica her flowers. Like just
whole team.
Skylar Diggins in the club. I mean, come on. You already mentioned Dominique Malonga. Yeah. I mean, just a tremendous performance from them. Yeah, no,
and this is something that I'm always like glass half full optimist, whatever. But like, you know, it's easy for us all to be like, oh, the Aces choked away a 13-point lead, whatever. Seattle went out and took that game. We look at this Seattle roster all season long and we're like, this team should be so good. Why aren't they so good? And then they trade for Brittany Sykes, even more like, wow, their ceiling's really high with this roster. And to their credit, like they played like it. They got that building going in a frenzy, and that's a bunch of clutch players. There's champions on that roster. Like they're not new to this, and
at all.
They
true to this. True to this, not new to it. Yeah. Erica Wheeler is just one of my favorite stories. So I just want to give her a shout out again. I mean, I feel like she has been so big for the Storm all season, and just seems to make the right play always when they really need it.
Yeah, she's a legend. Undrafted, All-Star Game MVP, and she hit a 3 like in the fourth quarter and kind of looked up to the sky and it was like, finally, like I hit one. And from there, it was like, uh-oh. Because then she starts stepping into like her isolation bag and it's like that's when she's at her best. And when you have to guard her and Skylar and Nneka and then Dominique Malonga, how are you going to stop her if she's starting to feel confident? It's like, oh, all of a sudden they got a lot of different places to go. Gabby Williams, I mean, it's a really, really good roster. Like,
yes,
it's a series that deserves 3 games, and it's fun that we're getting it.
Yeah, some would probably even say in the regular season they underachieved based on the talent on that roster.
100%.
So, well, look, we're going to get a game 3. Who doesn't like game 3s? Or just a final game in a series that's going to be decisive, right? Win or go home. So looking forward to that. It will be in Las Vegas, and it's tomorrow night. Thursday night. Woo!
No rest for the weary. No rest for the WNBA players. No rest for WNBA media. Come on.
I know. And so there is like I just mentioned, there is another series going to a game 3, and I think this one we sort of anticipated that. And that's the Indiana Dream. Oh my goodness, the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream.
That would be interesting.
And the Fever forced a game 3, and good on them. I mean, how is that? You finally make the postseason again last season after a long drought. Yeah. But they get swept. You come back this year after just a season where they have been plagued with injuries, just decimated, play most of their season without Caitlin Clark. Yeah. Then they come into the postseason and they get a win. Yeah. I mean, that's just tremendous. You have to give them so much credit.
Undeniably. And there's so many people to give credit, especially some of the people who've stepped in that were not a part of this team at the start of the season, but you have to start with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. There's just the Indiana Fever. It's like it's bigger than basketball in terms of like what it's become, in terms of how people cover this team, talk about this team, etc. There's so many factors at play. Ultimately, they just won a playoff game, as you said, in front of their home fans, And the reason why they have been able to withstand so many injuries over the course of the season is because they have two rocks who are all WNBA players, who are young all WNBA players. Aaliyah Boston is in her third season. Like, she is so good, so solid for them. Kelsey Mitchell is playing the basketball we've always known she's capable of at this level. Just phenomenal. And then other people are stepping in. They go out and get Aerial Powers, and Aerial Powers is like, I live for playing in front of a playoff crowd.
Yes.
Like, we forget Aerial Powers, WNBA champion. Shea Petty, like, just a legendary hooper who never gets enough credit. You know, these people are like now playing playoff minutes, and you just got to tip your cap, because especially defensively in game 2, like, they were flying around. They just made everything so tough for Atlanta. And now they get to play a winner-take-all game for the semis.
Man, listen, the Dream, I'm sure they are disappointed in how they showed up in that game in Indiana. So they will get a final game on their home court to go to the semis. I like Atlanta in that game. I think that they'll win it. I think you predicted that each team would win on their home court. I think you're right. I think that's what's going to happen. Admittedly, in some of the other series, I'm too cowardice to pick a winner for the Mercury and Liberty. I have no clue. I mean, maybe now with Stewie out, it's a little different, but I was very uncertain about that one. I think the Aces will probably close it out tomorrow too.
Yeah, I'm sticking with all my predictions. I had Phoenix in 3, sticking there. I had Vegas in 2, so that's dead, but I think they take care of business at home. And I would say home team wins every game in Atlanta, Indiana. Can we please just get a fair whistle tomorrow night? That's all I ask.
And then, look, there's one series we can't really talk about because it's actually still being played
right now
as we're talking. But the Valks, at least at halftime, they had a decent lead on the Minnesota Lynx. Now listen, we know the Lynx can come back at any time, so no lead is really safe.
Ever.
I really thought Minnesota would sweep this series, so good on the Lynx for going home in front of their Bay Area crowd, even though they're not at Valhalla. And shout out to the to the Warriors owners, Joe Lacob, also the Valkyries ownership, but for making sure that their floor was flown to the arena that they're going to be in, so they at least have the same court,
which is the best floor in the league, hands down. Gorgeous court design.
Yeah, so I mean, look, you did the best you could to accommodate them, gave them a building that's at least comparable in size. You know, it's in the Bay, and and the players seem to embrace it. I remember last year when the Liberty had to do the Commissioner's Cup, they were not pleased about not getting to play in Barclays.
Yeah. Understandably so.
Understandably. And so if the Valkyries players would have been really pissed, it would have been understandable. But they're just like, I like this thing that Kate Martin said, and she said she took it from a fan, but it's Valhalla is like a mindset. So it's not about the building, but it's
can be anywhere.
Yeah, and so I love that. And so, how cool would it be if all of these series go to 3 games?
So cool. If the Valkyries won a playoff game in their first year in existence, it would be so staggering and impressive. And even if they don't, this is kind of fun because it was 41-28 Golden State at halftime when we started recording. And we're going to finish recording and check our phones, and the Lynx will be up 5, which is going to be my live prediction. But regardless, such a win for the Valks no matter what. So competitive. They won the first quarter in game 1 too. So just awesome from them. And yeah.
Shout out to the Valkyries. Okay, we just got a status update, and it's 50-34 in the third. Okay, I don't know. The Valks may pull this off.
Oh, that sounds like game 3.
I really wish that we'd have the ability to talk about that game, but shout out to the Valkyries, man.
For real.
And Natalie Nakase on being the coach of the year, and also Veronica Burton for being the most improved player. Yep. So it's just a testament to all that they've done this season. And yeah, we will be back with more WNBA on NBC on Monday. Thank you all for tuning in. Owen, thank you so much for joining me. Guys, stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out.